Jeremy Weiss here. We're live at RetailX, and I'm here with Chris from Brandnexity.
Yes.
Tell people what the company does, Chris.
Brandnexity is a consulting and services company, primarily for e-commerce. I would say end-to-end e-commerce is what we do. We have over 20 years experience in e-commerce, and so when we sold our two companies, the two founders, after very many years, we decided, hey, we know a lot. We realized how much knowledge that we had gained over the years, and we decided to actually go into consulting, but also to provide the services as well. Because what we found was that it's fine as consulting, but then if they have no resource to actually execute the solutions that we're recommending, then it wasn't very much help to the companies that we're working with.
What type of clients do you serve?
We've done jewelry, we've done equestrian, so I think more footwear, apparel, sports, the jewelry, but it doesn't really matter. It's basically boils down to the same thing. Yeah.
Walk me through an interesting client. When they came to you and what you did for them.
Yes. A really interesting client for us was an international equestrian company that we'd actually worked with as retailers that were looking to re-platform off a major platform that they were already on. We're looking for different solutions, a very progressive, very modern company. They wanted to do a total end-to-end re-platform.
So you had to do all the development, design, and everything too?
Top to bottom, yeah.
That sounds really hectic.
Yes and no. I think hectic to some degree, but actually it's very well planned. Luckily we know the products very well. We know the client very well as it happened. But putting it all together was really interesting as they really did their homework super well. So they looked at hundreds of different solutions. We came up with a package that we thought, knowing them very well, the solutions that would work for them. And they ended up actually choosing all of the ones. After doing all their research, they actually came back to us and said, yeah, you're actually right.
Yeah. What are some of the pitfalls people have with replatforming? If they're not using someone like you, I can imagine there's a lot of potholes in the road. What are some of those pitfalls?
The huge one, which it sounds oversimplistic, but we keep coming back to it again and again, is they don't know what they don't know. So they think of replatforming as relatively simple and simple choices, when in fact it's incredibly complex to do. All the integration pieces are really, really difficult to do. But even the minutiae of it, choosing a PIM, choosing the front-end web service that you're going to use, whichever platform it is, also choosing your ERP, and will they talk to each other? Can we make them talk to each other, and so on. Super important that they get it right, and we've seen businesses go down when they don't.
Yeah. What are some of the big mistakes that you see your clients, or before they meet with you? What mistakes are they making?
Sometimes it's not doing their homework, not asking the right questions, because obviously sometimes they just don't know what questions to ask. So sometimes they come ill prepared. Sometimes they come with what they think is really good data, product data, when in fact it's terrible. And they don't understand that we have to do something with it before we can actually use it. So there's a lot of that. A lot of them have not spent a lot of time and effort on content. We need really good content, product content, and so on. And so, we have this long checklist of things that they need to be able to do. So often we have to spend a little bit more time than they would like, making sure that all the foundations are in place before we actually go for it.
What does good product content look like?
Well, these days it's super structured. There's two things about it. Super structured, so it's not just like just a flat name of a product. It has all the attributes, it has all the values that go with those particular attributes, has all the bullets. It has to fit into all the places that product has to go. We have to make sure it's compliant. So we've done all of that work in advance. So it's really structured data that we can then do all sorts of things with it. We can manipulate it and send it to lots of different marketplaces, to their own website, to their B2B site. What it enables them to do is to be multi-channel, which maybe they've never thought of being, or maybe they couldn't be because their product data just wouldn't support it. So.
Let's talk about the future of e-commerce. You've been doing the e-commerce for a while, and so you have some insights.
Yes.
Where do you see it going? What are some of the trends?
It is going where the customer, where she wants it to go. So what we're seeing, I think, is that we're all, if we're doing our jobs right, we're listening and we're watching to see what that customer is looking for, when she wants it to be delivered, how should it look when it arrives, what device does she want to shop on, how fast can she get through checkout. It's all about the customer and what she wants. Where does she want to go pick it up? Where does she want to shop? Does she want to maybe start, if she's looking for a shirt and a pair of pants, she'll start on a marketplace. She'll then go to, maybe an Ann Taylor or, just a, big banner site. She may do that. She maybe takes a look at it at her workplace. She may then take another look on her phone. And she ends up buying it on her iPad at night while she's watching a movie.
Love it.
And that's what she wants.
Yeah.
And if we don't understand that, and we aren't there with her every step of the way, we won't do our job right.
Yeah. I love that because you really help people understand the exact customer journey. And if you don't understand the exact customer journey, you can't serve them what they want at that point.
No, and you miss the sale. As a company, you miss the sale. As an industry, we're not serving our ultimate customer because we're not listening. I can't tell you the number of times I talk to manufacturers. They have wonderful products and then they turn around and say, well, who shall we sell it to? Really? Why didn't you do it the other way around? Why didn't you find out what she wanted or he wanted and then go make it, and then you know who your customer is? So they kind of chase themselves around a little bit. And sometimes
it makes perfect sense when you say it. Ask the customer what they want and give it to them in the form that they want it.
There's very few companies. Apple is probably one of the better known ones that they make things that we never knew we wanted. But those are very few and far between.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, most of us are not going to be that lucky or that genius, I don't think.
That's a great point.
Yeah, and so I think as well, what we see, and this is what we're creating, it's where e-commerce meets community. So we believe that websites of the future just won't be e-commerce isolated. It won't be buy me, buy me, buy me. It will be, this is a community, you can purchase products, but there's all this amazing other stuff going on the website, be it guides and product guides and videos and how-tos and all the supporting material. And maybe if you're a climber or you're an equestrian or whatever it is that you do, that whole community lives there too. Yeah. And I think that's where retail is going and where shopping is going. Yeah. It's going back into the community again.
Chris, this was fantastic. Thank you. Live from RetailX.
Thank you.